Moving to Fort Myers sounds simple. Sunshine, lower taxes, palm trees everywhere, but here's the truth. People who move here either love it or regret it. In this video, I'll show you why people are really moving here, which neighborhoods locals argue about, what home prices actually look like in 2025 once you factor in the hidden costs, and the 3 surprises that blindside new buyers almost every time. And stick around to the very end because I'll also cover the biggest mistakes people make when relocating here so you don't waste thousands of dollars or months of your life learning the hard way. All right, let's start with the big picture. Why are so many people actually packing up and moving to Fort Myers right now? Everyone knows about the beaches and the sunshine, but the real reasons go a lot deeper and some of them might surprise you. Lee County has been one of the fastest growing counties in the country since 2020. More than 100 new residents a day move to the region. Year-round warm weather, no state income taxes. That's a big part of why people love living here and why they move here from the Northeast and Midwest. I remember when I first moved down here from Connecticut, I really wasn't sure I was gonna like it. I thought I was gonna miss the seasons, the change in the weather. Thought I was gonna miss those fall and autumn days where I actually get to wear my long sleeves and my jeans comfortably, changing of the leaves, that first snowfall, experiencing Christmas and having a fire going by the Christmas tree. But after about 8 months of living down here, me and my wife went back up north to celebrate my birthday with our friends. And that was when it really hit me. I couldn't believe how gloomy and depressing it really was up north. Even though it's a little bit hotter and humid down here, I had gotten so used to the sun every day, seeing palm trees and feeling like I wake up in paradise, that when I went back there, everything felt depressing. I could really see how there was seasonal depression up north. And after that 1 week experience back up north, I realized that I would never want to move back. Another reason is it's still cheaper than many coastal metros, even with today's prices. Boating, fishing, Gulf beaches within reach, all kinds of restaurants, shopping corridors are exploding along Daniels and Corkscrew area, job growth in healthcare, education, and construction, and the list goes on and on. If you want to enjoy the outdoors and be able to do things all year long, this is really the spot to do it. And while all of that sounds great, it only matters if you land in the right neighborhood. Because street to street, your experience here can be night and day different. So let's zoom into the neighborhoods you'll hear about most often, and I'll give you the prices, who they fit, and the catches locals whisper about, but most buyers miss. First, we have Gulf Harbor Yacht and Country Club. You've got luxury gated living with a marina, golf, tennis, dining, and one of the strongest country club communities in Fort Myers. It's perfect for boat owners, golf enthusiasts, retirees, and second home buyers who want high resale value and resort amenities. Now let's go over the prices here in 2025. Condos start around the $350,000 mark and go up to about the $1.2 million mark. Villas and townhomes are another option, and those are between $400,000 and around $700,000. And then you have the single family homes, usually starting around the $700,000 up to the $5 million, even over that mark. So there is a hidden catch with this community. Marina slips can be waitlisted. The community is also right on the Caloosahatchee River, so proximity to the water usually means higher insurance and flood considerations. Now, some alternative communities that are very similar to this but are at a little bit lower price point include the Landings, which is right down the street, that has bundled golf and marina access, or Town and River, which is also down the street, has deeded Gulf access canals as well. Now here's an insider tip. Water access is about more than distance. In Town and River, canal width and bridge clearance decide whether you're 5 minutes or 25 minutes to the Gulf. Next, we have McGregor Boulevard corridor. So this is a popular area because of the historic charm with royal palm-lined streets, character homes, and quick access to downtown Fort Myers. It's perfect for buyers who love unique homes, character details, and the old Florida feel, but still want a central location. Prices here in 2025 for cottages and single-family homes can range anywhere from $350,000 up to $700,000, and riverfront estates can go anywhere from $1.5 million up to $5 million and more. Now the catch with this area is that a lot of the homes have older roofs, they have cast iron stacks, galvanized plumbing, some of them have outdated panels, and it's in a flood zone, so you have AE flood insurance, which is gonna be among some of the highest. Now some alternatives to this would be Whiskey Creek. Many of these are 70s and 80s single family homes. You also have Tanglewood, which is right next door to Whiskey Creek, and these are gonna be mid-century as well. Third, we have Gateway. Now this is a popular community because it's a true master plan community with newer builds, top schools, sports parks, and quick access to I-75 and RSW Airport. It's perfect for families, commuters, and buyers who want predictability, amenities, and a suburban feel. Now prices here in 2025 for condos range anywhere from $170,000 up to $350,000. Townhomes start in the $300,000 range and go up to around $400,000. And then we also had single family homes which start around $450,000 and can go up over $700,000. Now the hidden catch here are the CDD fees, which are built into the taxes. Irrigation water can also stain a lot of either your driveway, your homes, or your grout and tile inside. And a big one is that parts of Gateway or Estero sit under RSW flight paths. So you could be hearing airplanes flying over pretty frequently. Always check WebTrack Flight Tracker before writing an offer. Now, some alternatives in the Gateway area include the Plantation, which is golf and gated amenities. You also have Stony Brook at Gateway, which is very family friendly. Fourth, we have downtown Fort Myers, which is also known as the River District. This area is popular because it's a walkable riverfront living with restaurants, nightlife, art walks, and high-rise condo views built right in. It's perfect for professionals, downsizers, snowbirds, and retirees who want low maintenance and city-style living. Prices in 2025 for condos start around the $300,000 range and can go well over $900,000. Penthouses will typically start around the $1 million range and go up, though there are some exceptions to that in the older buildings. Now, one of the hidden catches for this area is going to be, since a lot of these are condos in high rises, there are special assessments, especially in the older towers. You're going to have parking traffic during events and noise. Plus, post-Surfside law changes mean 3+ story towers, which many of them are, must pass SIRS milestone inspections and fully fund reserves before December 31st of 2025. Before you fall in love with a view, check the latest reports through the DBPR Condo Resources site. Alternatives here would include Dean Park and Edison Park, which have historic single-family homes, North Star Yacht Club, which is just across the bridge and has bigger views. Now, the fifth area here is the Alico Corkscrew Corridor, which is also around the Estero area or the southern part of Fort Myers. This area is super popular right now and is an up-and-coming area where I see a lot of return on investment happening in the future, and for a good reason. It has some of the newest amenity-rich master plan communities with massive resort-style pools, restaurants, and event calendars. Perfect for buyers who want new construction, active community lifestyles, and don't mind being east of I-75. Now let's talk about the prices in 2025. For Bella Terra, which is a very popular community here, you're talking around the $578,000 for the median price. Verdana Village, which is another popular choice, is around the $400,000 range. And then Corkscrew Shores is around the $800,000 median range. The hidden catch for this area is that there's a lot of traffic on Corkscrew Road during season. It also has a lot of construction going on in that area, so you will have delays. Almost every community also has a CDD and HOA fees, and some preserves bring no CMs, especially the ones that are further out east. Some alternative communities here would be Miramar Lakes, which is a luxury lakefront. And then you also have West Bay Club, which is golf and Gulf access. By the way, if you're watching this and thinking, wow, this is a lot more complicated than I expected, you're not alone. That's exactly why I put together my Southwest Florida Relocation Kit. Inside, you'll find a cost of living breakdown, a city and neighborhood comparison guide, a 6-step relocation game plan, and the things most buyers don't learn about taxes, insurance, and new construction until it's too late. It's free, and it's the same resource I give my clients before we ever start looking at homes. You can grab it using the link in the description. Now, here's the thing. These prices only tell half the story, because 3 hidden costs here can swing your monthly by hundreds of dollars, and almost nobody warns you about them. This is where most buyers get blindsided. Insurance premiums, condo assessments, and property taxes that can swing your monthly payment by hundreds of dollars. The first one is insurance volatility. Premiums can swing $3,000 to $5,000 depending on roof age and wind mitigation credits. Always get 2 quotes, one as is and one post upgrade. New straps, shutters, secondary water barriers, those things can really add up after a while, so do your due diligence and make sure you get both of those quotes. Companies like StormSmart can install upgrades that lower premiums enough to pay for themselves, depending on how long you plan to live there. Condo law and assessments is the second one. Florida's condo law now requires milestone inspections and reserves. If you're planning to purchase in an older tower or high rise, make sure you plan to budget higher dues because they probably will be going up over time. Let's be real, do costs ever actually go down? Resources like Building Mavens and FSR explain what to look for. The third one is taxes and portability. Don't rely on the seller's tax bill. First year taxes reset to your purchase price. Homes that were purchased 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago will have a much lower tax bill than what you're probably going to be getting. Use the Florida Department of Revenue or the LCPA calculator to model new taxes, then apply the homestead and portability if you qualify. And if you want to learn more about homestead and what it is and how it can help you save money on your taxes, as long as you're making a purchase for your primary residence down here, you can check out this video up here. Now, those are the 3 main reasons, but I wanted to throw in a bonus here. the new build versus resale. Builder incentives can look appealing, but east of I-75, many new communities carry CDD fees plus impact fees. Sites like Florida for Boomers break down these trade-offs. And even if you're okay with those surprises, Fort Myers isn't a perfect fit for everyone. Here's who usually regrets the move. Every paradise has trade-offs, and here's where Fort Myers might not deliver what you're picturing. So if you're an urban seeker, if you want a true walkable, dense urban core like Miami or Tampa, Fort Myers is far more suburban and car dependent. If you're looking for private school options, some exist, but choices are pretty limited compared to a lot of the larger metros. If you're a cheap waterfront dreamer, this is probably not the place for you. Premium Gulf access property is highly competitive and expensive. Now here are some of the hidden cons that most people aren't gonna know about and few outsiders really hear up front. Traffic in season. Commutes that take 20 minutes in August can take 45 minutes in February. You also have the heat and humidity. If you haven't been down here during the summer months, you're gonna wanna check it out first. From May to September, stepping outside can feel like walking into a sauna. Another one is bugs and critters. So love bug season twice a year, mosquitoes after storms, and you also have the no-see-ums, which are even smaller and can fit through screens. If you live in a rural area with woods behind your property or water nearby, mosquitoes and no-see-ums can be pretty brutal, which is why a lot of people opt in for the screened-in lanais over their pools and patios. And one of the secrets to those lanais is that you need to get the right screening. Not all screening will stop no-see-ums. Some of them will go right through the screens if they're not the right type. You'll also have water quality swings. We have red tide down here or algae blooms that can close beaches and impact boating for weeks. There's also insurance stress currently in our market. Premiums keep rising and hurricane deductibles are separate from normal deductibles. So you'll need to budget for both. Another thing is the cost of living. Everyday life is cheaper than New York City or Chicago, but insurance and taxes, and then you add on HOA and CDD fees, can make monthly housing costs much higher than buyers expect, especially if you're coming from a smaller or rural area. So if you're still here, you're probably serious. But even if you know the pros, cons, and who Fort Myers is best for, there's still some big mistakes people make you'll want to avoid. Here's the truth. Even savvy buyers trip up here, and I see it every week. These are the 5 biggest mistakes people make when moving to Fort Myers, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. First, buying too close to the airport. The big mistake is falling for homes near RSW because of convenience, only to realize that flight paths bring noise at certain times of the day. If you're sensitive to noise, stay outside the direct approach paths in Gateway and Estero. 2, believing the seller's tax bill will be yours. The big mistake here is looking at the MLS property taxes and assuming that's what you're gonna pay. Remember, Florida resets taxes at your purchase price. Use the Lee County Property Appraisers calculator to model your first year taxes. Then factor in the homestead, which will be right on that calculator, and portability if you can qualify. 3, falling for low HOA fees in new communities. Builders usually advertise low HOA dues, but don't mention the CDD fees. The CDD fee is the Community Development District rolled into your tax bill, and it's usually there to offset the builder's costs up front to pay for the common areas like clubhouses, community pools. Make sure you ask for the full monthly cost breakdown. That includes the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, the HOA, and the CDD fees if they have any. A $300,000 home with a big CDD can cost more than $350,000 home without one. 4, assuming every canal means boating access. Another mistake a lot of buyers make is that they think any waterfront property means quick access and boating. But in town and river and similar areas, bridge clearances, canal width, and distance to open water make all the difference. Before you buy, measure bridge clearances versus your boat and calculate the time to the Gulf. Talk to neighbors or check boater forums for real-world experiences. Number 5, skipping due diligence on condos. The big mistake here is falling in love with the view, but ignoring new Florida condo laws requiring SIRS, milestone inspections, and reserve funding. You could be in for a rude awakening with surprise assessment. So in order to avoid that, always request the latest inspection report, reserve study, and meeting minutes. Use the DBPR Condo Resources Database to double-check compliance before you buy. So even if you love the lifestyle, pick the right neighborhood, and budget for the hidden costs, these mistakes can still cost you thousands, which is why most buyers don't just look at Fort Myers in isolation. They compare it to other Gulf Coast cities before making a decision. So now you know the real reasons people are moving here, what homes cost, and the hidden surprises that can make or break your budget. But here's the thing, Fort Myers is only one piece of Southwest Florida. Most people who start looking here also end up comparing Cape Coral's canals, Estero's new construction communities, or even Naples just 30 minutes south. The question isn't just can you afford it here, it's which area actually fits your lifestyle best. If you're ready to figure that out, reach out. I do this every week and I'll walk you through it step by step. And if you're still in research mode, start off by downloading my free relocation kit. The link's in the description, or you can scan the QR code you see on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.